Good morning, Web Design 2 class. This is Francisco Rodriguez. I'm your instructor for the fall 2015 semester, and welcome to the class. I know that at least most of the lessons should already be available online for you to take a look at, and if you've actually played some of the videos, you may be thinking, well, this is pretty cool stuff, but it's old. It uses an older version of Dreamweaver that I'm actually looking at, or there's this annoying music in the background, or whatever the case may be. I mean, I admit they're a little bit old. So what I'm planning to do is this semester, as often as I would do in a live class, I'm going to go over each of the lessons as we get to them. By now, you should have received an email from me that shows you your account name, your password, etc. And let's go ahead and open up Dreamweaver. I'm using the latest Dreamweaver, CC 2015. If you have CC 2014 or even something before that like CC or even CS6, the setup process is going to be very similar. If you're using CS6 or CS 5.5, CS4, any of the older CS Dreamweavers, please let me know, and I can set up a video for you to watch, because some of the assignments would look strikingly different. When you first open up Dreamweaver, especially this one, the 2015, you're going to see something like this. You're going to see a file bar on top. You're going to see that there's going to be a file menu on the right. There's a DOM. We'll be using this later, maybe not. What's important now is that we set up your server. So let's go first to the site menu, click on that, and let's create a new site. You're going to see the site setup window. We're going to use two of these bars. We're going to use the site and the servers. Site is your local site. This is the site that's going to be stored in your computer. That's why you're going to see a site name that you will provide, and you're going to see a local site folder. This could be on your desktop, it could be on a flash drive. It's up to you where you want to put it. Dreamweaver will remember it for you, but it's important that you remember where it is as well. If this were a live class, I would recommend that you put it in a flash drive. However, if you put it on your desktop, I think that would be a good idea as well. Your site name, it's going to be whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call mine, I don't know, I could call it Web 2, or I could call it Fall 2015 instead. I'll do that, since that's going to be my account name. My local site folder, I'm going to click on this folder. If you have any issues while navigating on a Mac, please let me know. I'll create a separate video for you. Like I said, you could do it on your desktop. I'm going to use a very specific folder where I keep my files. I'm going to put everything on my Google Drive. I do have a 2015 fall folder somewhere, not there, I have it somewhere else. I'm going to put it here, Central and the fall, and my Dreamweaver class. I'm going to create a new folder and call it Fall 2015. I'm going to open it and select the folder. Very important that you select the folder, so then that the local site folder actually has the entire link to it. There's my Fall 2015 at the very end, all that lengthy path. Now the server, this is the information that I sent you. I'm going to click on servers on the left. Currently there is no servers installed. You could have multiple servers, but we'll probably just be using the one for now. If you have a website, especially a weareidt.com website from the past semester, you can use the same information, the same password, and the same username to get to this one. You're going to have all your stuff there from the last year. If you need help moving it to another folder, please let me know. I do have access to all your files by now. I do have you all on a separate machine, and even those of you that already took the Web Design 1 and have a website out there, I've seen everything that you've done before, so I can move it to another folder. I'm going to click on plus to add a new server. My server name, just for consistency, I'm going to use the same name. I'm going to call it Fall 2015. We are connecting using FTP, and we're keeping the port at 21. That's your FTP server port. FTP address should have been included on that message. Mine is fall2015.weareidt.com. In the videos, the older videos, you'll see a different name. Don't worry about that. Just concern yourself with your name and your server. I'm pressing tab to get to the username. My username is fall 2015. I have my own password. Your password should be lowercase e plus your student ID. If you took this course last semester though, well, not this course, but the Web Design 1, you probably don't need the E. You just need your ID number. It's very important that you click on test and get this message: Dreamweaver connected to your web server successfully. That means that pretty much you're in. You're not done, but you're in. Be sure that you do get that success message. Otherwise, check your settings. Once again, check that you have the correct FTP address, that your username is correct, and that your password is typed in correctly. Save it so that in your computer will remember this information. We've already tested. Root directory for me and for everyone taking this class, everyone with a weareidt.com account is going to be /public_HTML. And then another slash just to be sure. Web URL is provided for us. It's the same thing as you typed in before, the FTP address. I'm going to click on save. Now I have the fall 2015 with the address fall2015.weareidt.com on my FTP. It's a remote server. It's not locally hosted. However, everything will be saved locally, as I'll explain in a second. I click on save. So now my files, where I told you on the side, it was showing you just a random folder. Well, not so random, but not the one we want. We now have the fall 2015 folder selected. This should be your folder with your username. My local files, currently I have nothing there. If I were to right click, I could find Explore. Sorry if you can't see it, it's below. It says Explore, and right now it tells me I'm on users, my name, my Google Drive, a central folder, etc., until I'm in my fall 2015 folder. Currently the folder is empty, and that is why if you were to go to your browser and try to find your account, especially if you have nothing uploaded, you'll see that you see an index of slash. Actually, the slash is the root folder. That's the public HTML folder that we just set up. You have access to one folder called CGI bin. We won't be using this semester, and it tells you information about the server. We're currently running on an Apache server, and this is my address at fall2015.weareidt.com, port 80. So my server is now set up just so that you have something to look at, especially if you haven't taken Web 1 or if you don't have access to that account anymore. So let's create a new file. I'm going to click on the file menu and tell it to click on new. We have lots of options. We can do HTML pages, CSS, even some other languages. We will be using some of the site templates, and I will actually go in and use some of the starter templates later and some other lessons. However, we just want a new document. It needs to be HTML. Currently, we're not using any framework, so if you see this, click on None. And it's an HTML5 page. It's not any of the other HTML flavors. We're using HTML5 specifically for this class. We don't need a CSS file just yet. I'm going to click on Create, and I'm going to see now my file. This is the index.html file. This is going to be my home page for my website once I get started with it. On the top right, you should see maybe this tab that says Beginner. If you see something else, click on there. What I'm going to be using for most of this class is going to be the design view. That changes things around a little bit. It shows me the DOM, and I'm not going to use DOM right now. In order to get rid of this tab, not so much get rid of it, but hide it, I'll double click it, and you'll see that everything else is sort of gone. I do want to see my file, so I'll click on that, and then I see once again my site folder. That's my fall 2015 folder that I just created. I am currently on live view, and that's this button right here. What live view does is that it shows you your page as it would appear on a browser. What I want is actually to click on the drill next to it and select design, so that we can actually click into the box and type some stuff. So I would recommend that you type your name. This is my name. I'll just type in enter. I'm treating this as if it were just a regular word processor. Type in IMED 2415 fall 2015. And some of the other videos, if you got to watch them, I type in a whole bunch of other stuff. You can type that stuff. You can type whatever you want. This is your page. But I would like you to type in something so that I can see what's going on. I'm just pressing multiple enters to get to that line. I'll type in my vision statement, and that will be after this class is done. I will know how to properly plan the development of a website, create a website using CSS for the layout. Sorry about all the clacking. I know that now that I see my microphone is right next to my keyboard. Create a website. I just typed that. Design a beautiful user-friendly website. I'm also going to type in assignments, and just for kicks I'll type in assignment, well, not assignment 1 because that's your creative thinking. I'll type in assignment 2, assignment 3, assignment 4. There's about 10 assignments. There might be some additional assignments since there's a lot of new stuff in Dreamweaver CC 2015 that I'm still looking into. I'll tell you all about it as the weeks go by. Something else that we're going to do with this page is we're going to give it a little bit of a design, because currently it's just pretty much a printout. You just type the information. It doesn't look like a website. This is not quite the beautiful user-friendly website that we want in the end. Just to show you what I mean is I'm going to publish this site. Currently it has no name, Untitled 1. So let's upload this file. In Web Design 1, you probably use WSFTP or some other kind of FTP client to get your files to the server. Dreamweaver will take care of all that for us. I'll click on File and Save just to make sure that this is saved as the index file. Rather than Untitled 1, I'll type in index.html. This is already set up as an HTML file since we said we wanted HTML5. I am in my fall 2015 folder. I will click on Save. Index.html is now saved. On the top right, there's a File Management button. This one right here. We can click it and tell it to put the file. Dependent files will also be uploaded. However, we don't have any just yet. That's going to be our CSS file, which we will create in a later lesson. I'll just say yes for now. And it's gone. How do I know it's published? Well, I can open up my browser, which currently is blank. It's the index of root. I will reload this page, and now I have all my text. And it's just the text we printed. It's not the prettiest site. And basically, like I said, this is just a skeleton. If we were to go back to Dreamweaver, I could see the code. This is all the code we've been typing. You remember this from Web Design 1. We have declared an HTML5 document. We started the HTML code. We do have head information. We have a body, a couple of paragraphs, so actually a whole bunch of paragraphs, and the body ends, the HTML stops as well. Going back to design and clicking on the Properties tab, I can make some initial changes. I will highlight my name, change the format from paragraph to heading 1. I will highlight the IMED and the vision statement actually and change those to heading 2. I'll leave this as a paragraph. I will put in my vision statement objectives, highlight them, and make an unordered list, so bullet points. Assignments, which I see is misspelled, I will highlight that and make it also a heading 2. My assignments 2 through 4 I will also use as a bullet point. You could also do an order list and have them 1, 2, 3, etc. I just prefer to use the bullet points for now. Assignment 2, when we get to that, we will make links to our other pages. I'm going to click back on File Management and put this again. Be sure to save it, yes to all, and then say yes in case there's anything that needs to go up again. So what I can do now is go back to my browser and reload the page and see that my file is updated. One thing about it though, it still says untitled document. If I go back to Dreamweaver, I'll search at the bottom the untitled document title and I'll give it a name. I'll give it either my personal name. I could also give it an IMET 2415 or Web Design 2, whatever you want to call it. And publish that as well. Putting and saying yes to all and yes. Back in Dreamweaver, reload the page. And now it's got my name as a title. So that's pretty much it. To get your server set up and your first page up, you can see if you click on code, all the coding that you've done that you normally would have to type line by line. Dreamweaver is taking care of a lot of the coding by adding H1 where needed, H2, etc. Creating the list for us. And you can see it side by side, or rather top to bottom. As we change our code, we can change the content. If I wanted to, rather than use my name, use the name of the course, I could actually just change it in the code itself. IMET 2415, or even better, Web Design 2, since I already said IMET 2415 below that. I'll click on top, that updates it. Go ahead and put it again, yes to all, and yes. This is what we got after reloading Web Design 2. So I'll be producing more videos and uploading them throughout the course. If you have any specific questions or requests about how to do certain things in HTML5, send me an email. Participate in the upcoming virtual labs and we'll get things done.